Well, local officials continue to reflect on the horrible shootings of children and adults at Sandy Hook School in Connecticut. Inyo County Sheriff Bill Lutz and Inyo Superintendent of Schools Terry McAteer are making the key points for how everyone should interact with local schools and watch closely for troubled students and others. Bennett Kessler asked Sheriff Lutz about safety measures and weapons.
Well, we want to make sure that everybody secures their weapons. Make sure you have appropriate gun locks. You have gun safes in your home. I'll give you an example. I was walking around Vaughn's the other day, and there were several guns that were in open view in the vehicles. You know, people, this is a hunting community, and so there are weapons. And so we want to make sure that they're as secure as possible.
Okay. All right. And people talk. So you're suggesting to really listen and be aware of what people are talking about.
Yes, and most of these incidents involving schools and other shootings where there's casualties, people express what they're going to do either on social media or to a family friend or to a friend that they confide in. It's very important that people take that seriously and let us know that this is what this person is contemplating so that we can deal with it before the action takes place.
And at our schools, officials are enforcing simple rules for visitors. Bennett Kessler asked Inyo Superintendent of Schools Terry McAteer for his advice to visitors to school campuses.
Well, I really believe that one of the most important things happens to be that all visitors, parents included, need to go through the front desk. We have parents and visitors who just sort of know where everything is on campus, and so they enter through the ball field, they enter through a side door, and those are not accepted anymore. So we are now putting lanyards on our staff so that staff know who other staff are, and visitors will be getting lanyards also so that we'll know. And if you don't have a lanyard on, you're going to be confronted by our school staff.
All right, so the word is go to the front office.
Right. I mean, as just being polite and letting everyone know I'm on campus and I'm going over to Mrs. Smith's classroom, that you let the rest of the school know that. And that's only proper, and that's something that we found that was critical in Sandy Hook, is they had a front door policy, and while it was a tragedy, it was also, we learned from it that we have to be having all staff, all visitors, all parents going through one entrance.
Okay, and of course in Sandy Hook we had a person who was extremely troubled. What is your advice on anticipating or looking for that?
Yes, I really encourage people to seek out mental health help for family and friends in this community. If you know somebody's very troubled, you can't stand back anymore. You have to be proactive in this. And we actually happen to be more proactive in our schools right now. We are now looking at every student on our campus to see, do they have a support network? Are they seeing a counselor? Especially kids who we know that are withdrawn, who have expressed anger at certain times or so. So we're actually reaching out to them. We have now started a counseling center in our schools so that we can have more students being able to reach, and their families get mental health help in a variety of means. So it's absolutely critical that the general community also reaches out to their family and friends that they know that are troubled and need some assistance.
And we can just mention North Star Counseling is the help that you're talking about, or one of the helps.
Correct. It's a low-cost counseling center. It's supported by a state health grant, and it's $35 an hour. So you know somebody, hey, go pick up the phone, we'll get them some counseling help, and you can pick up the tab for them at $35 an hour.
Well, the superintendent and sheriff have really made it a point to get their messages of caution out so we can have safety in our schools. Well, Bennett Kessler filed this report in November. Mammoth Mountain CEO Rusty Gregory stated that his plans, as recorded in a report to the Forest Service, are to reopen June Mountain next season. Now, there is nothing new on that statement, but the Forest Service did issue a press release to say that they and Mammoth Mountain have finalized an operating plan for the June Mountain ski area for the rest of the winter season, while the resort is in non-operational status. The biggest concern is avalanche danger. Now, the press release says that the lift-served ski area is not open, but the underlying national forest land will, quote, generally remain accessible to the public for backcountry skiing, snowboarding, or snowshoeing, end quote. Now, under the approved plan, ski patrollers are authorized to prohibit access to the area during avalanche control activities, and also the ski area remains prohibited to entry by snowmobiles and other motorized use by an existing forest order. Now, the Forest Service says other dangers include unmarked obstacles, June Mountain ski area snowmobiles and equipment, ungroomed slopes, and avalanche control work. Ski Patrol will not conduct normal patrols in the area. Now, those who fail to comply with posted avalanche control or other regulations will be subject to the danger as well as a citation. But the Forest Service says that winter backcountry enthusiasts can travel in and through the June Mountain area and will have access to adjacent backcountry areas. Now, anyone who visits the June Mountain area must stay out of avalanche control closures and carry backcountry avalanche safety gear. Now, you can get more information about avalanche advisories at the website esavalanche.org or call 760-924-5510. The Forest Service plans to produce a phone number and recorded avalanche closure information for June Mountain soon. Well, Bennett Kessler also filed this story. The Los Angeles Department of Water and Power's commemorative event celebrating 100 years of the Los Angeles Aqueduct might be called good news, bad news. The Owens Valley Water literally built LA and left the valley much drier with no growth. That's all how you look at it. Friday afternoon coming up, Los Angeles officials and others plan to head to the Eastern California Museum in Independence to hear DWP officials talk and to munch on hors d'oeuvre. Now, this gala event is apparently the only planned celebration of the aqueduct's centennial. In recent days, members of the Bishop Paiute tribe had protested celebrating the aqueduct in a demonstration in front of the Vons in Bishop. Now, coming up on Friday, officials of Inyo and LA will be meeting in a standing committee session before they head to the museum, where it is possible LA may reveal a special plaque intended for the aqueduct intake. Now, that standing committee meeting will start at 11 a.m. Friday in the supervisor's boardroom in Independence. Officials will touch on pumping the lower Owens River, Owens Lake groundwater evaluation, and other issues. They will head over to the museum at 12:30. Now, that event is open to the public and is expected to last for an hour and a half. Now, even as LADWP puts on a party face, Inyo County grinds through LA's continued resistance to accept groundwater pumping realities, and Stan Matlick of Bishop points to LA pumps in Bishop as, quote, stealing water. We'll be back with sports and weather.